see the Blooms were out there with a trailer and vehicles this last weekend.
It's good.
Gotta be getting excited. I would be too. Does it need anything outside? Does it need a new roof or any of that kind of stuff? Nice.
Some of the siding needs nailed back in a little bit, but the bathroom's not finished, so we need to finish that.
My insurance company did a
there a
inspection
bathroom
of
on
my
the
house.
main
They were supposed to
floor
be
and
there
one
Friday.
upstairs
Didn't
too?
show up till Monday, which is great.
There's one in the basement.
Then you couldn't see on
Yeah,
the roof that
that's
there's
actually
old
handy.
and new shingles.
It's covered with snow and they didn't get up there and scrape it off.
It needs to be flooded.
Shingles good? Oh,
And
yeah.
then
They're still there.
Yeah,
started
yeah, right where they belong.
into the bathtub, like putting tile down, but they never finished it. So
I was
she
in a-
We'll see what the report brings.
I was gonna climb up on
You have a contractor that you
Dad's
use
roof.
or
I've
like
got a
to use?
big
Oh,
plastic Santa Claus
There
you
you
can
go.
put a light in. And I was gonna winch strap it to the chimney on Dad's house and then plug it in and have Santa Claus up by the chimney for the,
all
but
right.
now that snow on the roof. I
Well,
don't know
it's
if I-
9 o'clock.
Looks
We're
like
ready,
it.
we'll stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, I'm too fast for you guys.
You're in the Eastern time zone.
Yeah, evidently.
It's We'll consider for approval of minutes and the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes and agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion by Derby, seconded by Jensvold to approve the minutes and the agenda. All in favor say aye.
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 Drainage.
don't have anything, what's on the agenda?
Okay. Have you gotten any bills from any that have happened this fall yet, or will they come in?
I just got a bill from Lahar when I got back to work yesterday for the project that he did with Chad Rice 41. So I did get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't think I have anything
I
either.
don't have any.
Did we ever come up with a resolution or a plan, or just how is it stated on tiles that go into state property? Or, I mean, did we ever have a plan, or?
We just hope that they are willing to fix the issues.
Mhm.
They have been so far.
They haven't?
Oh, they have not?
No, I didn't hear what you said.
They have.
They have.
The DNR has been lately has been good at repairing things that we find that need to be
Okay.
repaired.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
It's just a personal question, because I had to have some work done that went into DNR, and they said that they would work with me, but, you know, you never really know what that,
Yeah, they have been better knowing that some of their lands have gotten out of control
okay,
with trees or whatever, so they've been trying to get better and catch some of that stuff up.
okay. That's good to know. But we never put in any policy or any, okay,
There's nothing we can do.
okay.
It's-
They just have to just play nice.
The only thing we've done with some of that is in the planning processes for, new work that the NRCS does with the DNR and
Yes.
stuff.
Mhm.
We've got some policies there.
Yeah. But that's new stuff, right,
Right,
then?
that's when people want to put it in a permanent wetland or need, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't have anything else for drainage if you guys don't.
No.
Okay. Discussion with possible action, reclassification of DD 111 and appoint engineer.
So this is a project that Helgeson is working on, and I had one of the landowners call me and say, I don't know how long it's been since it's been reclassified. And I don't know the date of it either. I have the old sheets, but it doesn't have a date on it when it was done. He said, I wonder how it looks. And I said, yeah, I can look into it. So I did talk to Colin, and just said, what do you think? And he gave me an estimate of like $4,000 for just the open ditch and another $2,000 for the laterals. Like this parcel is in it right now and obviously should not be. So this parcel isn't in it, should be.
How the
This
heck
is
did
the
that ever
water.
happen? Isn't
And,
that
and I
weird?
think in our old system, when it said, you know, the northwest of the northwest, it didn't tell me how many acres in the northwest. So it would pull the whole, even if it had acreage and the land, I just pulled the whole, all the numbers because I didn't know which part of it. So I recommend that we do it at least the open ditch, because that's what's getting done right now is cleaning some of that. If you wanna do the laterals, you know, for $1,000 and have it totally right, well, that's up to you.
What was 111 at?
It's up at the top, at the north. Right up. Right here.
Oh,
So it's got quite a few laterals. They do have lateral 1 and then 1 ABC and lateral 4 ABC, but they would just do the one schedule because there would be maybe one.
The one that's completely inside the, how could that ever get left out?
Yep.
Somebody's been getting a bargain.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and you know, in looking at the old schedule too, it's got the north half of the southwest of the northwest, and it might say 19 acres, but I don't know
Which night, yeah.
where's the 19 acres. So,
But it says the biggest part of possible annexation is that northeast part. I can see that.
so
In my mind, if you're gonna do it, you just will do it right.
I mean, that's my belief, that's been our belief. I know we don't like to spend people's money either for no reason, but I feel like this, and it's a $24,000 project, so.
and it's, you know, no classification to the east of it, so it's possible some of that might get drawn in.
Yeah, and that was just Colin just doing a rough look at it, where's the watershed, and by what I sent him,
Mhm.
so.
Right to your district, right?
Yeah.
I guess it makes kind of sense if it looks like there's some parcels that probably are completely excluded to,
Or one that's completely in it that, did we ever reclass, DD 102 then?
No, we have not.
Because they should be in DD 102 the way it looks. This piece here that is in there,
And well, it shouldn't be, so it'll get taken out,
yeah.
yeah.
but will it get
We wanna make sure it's
replaced?
included in this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's gotta be included
Whether it's
in
in
DD
both
of them or
102.
just one of them.
So
Yeah.
obviously, we've never reclassed 102 or we'd have caught it then.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we may not have caught it then, it would just have been
Because
in
it,
102.
yeah.
Yeah. But.
That's about as
It's
bad
not.
as I've ever seen it.
I like our new system in Tyler. When you do a split or anything, you can't forget a parcel. That they have to be.
Oh, you have to
taken into
account for it.
account.
That's
Which
good.
is nice. The old system, I feel like it could have got dropped at any given second and you don't catch it. I know when I do any, like this year, I will build DD 111, I always go back to the original and make sure that I have the right parcels in. But if they've been wrong, I don't know.
So which Helgeson drainage is Brian
Sean.
or Sean? Sean?
Because they do work for somebody up there.
Mm-hmm. So Colin's thought process was if it's under $25,000, it's not worth reclassifying, but if it gets up to that kind of point and over, it's worth reclassifying?
I think it depends on,
I think it just depends on the district.
yeah,
Yeah.
because there's some districts that have fewer people, there's some districts have large amounts of people, and so,
It'd be nice to be able to break it out by lateral and,
I think so, because, you know, we've come across those districts that in the original said they were going to, they had a schedule for all of them, but never actually did that in the classification, so
Mm-hmm.
we're catching them up as we can. So I feel like with this, since there is work done,
And especially since there's some big omissions and weird things in there. And if he thinks there's some up on the northeast that needs to be included,
right,
probably be a good idea to make it correct.
I just like to make it correct, you know, I know it costs the landowners money, but in the end, it's right. We're building what is right for them.
Yeah,
it's all rural, shouldn't be real expensive per acre, I wouldn't think.
No, and that's what he says, you know, the dollar amount was on there. So I think 7 total, maybe, could be even less.
what's right is right.
Like you said, a couple have been getting a deal there.
Yeah. They might,
You know, it's a small enough district, so it shouldn't cost much, but if he would've come in a lot higher, I would've questioned that.
yeah, but like you say, there's not any cities to all them little parcels that are all,
And maybe it was
Ghost towns up there, huh?
district.
no, yeah, I can't remember one. And Benji's further east than that, so.
And I think secondary roads has a high amount, so that might change for them too.
whose district is it?
What a lot of,
Oh, it's mine?
No,
I
that's
thought it's yours.
I
I've
think
got
it's in Eden.
It's in Eden.
Oh. Well, is there any more discussion about it, guys? No? Well, I'll make the motion to reclassify DD 111 and appoint an engineer.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
You're appointing Jacobson as supervisor, correct?
Yes. Since Colin
Can I
already,
make that part of the motion?
yes, you can, since
Yep.
Colin already gave us a bunch of information there.
Yeah,
So when we ask him for something like that, Chris, and it, you know, it's not comprehensive or anything, what is, he
if
just,
we would not have gone with the reclassification, he wouldn't have charged us.
Not
So that was nice.
Not every engineer would do that, though.
yeah,
Correct.
that's why I was trying to
Correct.
figure
It-
out if,
It really, with the equipment, or the computer systems that they have, I'm sure that didn't take a lot of time. I mean, he was getting back to me right away, so,
he has access to a lot of our stuff, so.
yeah.
so what information, what letters are gonna have to be sent out on this then,
So
or?
I would guess that he would have to send out the letters for the NRCS. Wetland determinations, maybe? Maybe not.
Well, I wouldn't
I
think
don't
so.
think so, no.
Not unless there's an improvement.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't have to do that. So just starting the work, and then when it gets closer, letters will get sent out about hearings.
Mm-hmm.
So is there an initial notification that we are doing a classification then?
Not typically.
Okay.
So will you respond to the request then that was
Yeah,
made?
Because I told the gentleman it does make sense to do it, so I can call him back and
Yeah.
say, yes, we are going to do it.
I think a response would be nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
All right, Scott, engineer, will discuss secondary road matters.
Got a couple things to update you on. One is the sale of our property. And I believe Susan was copied in on some correspondence between Jeremy Gray, our attorney. And as you remember, last week's feedback, he was here to discuss it. And one of the things that needed to be figured out was how to keep the process moving and accomplish all the goals, right? We have the vacation of the alley and the portion of the street. And when you do a vacation, the property returns to the title holder. And so if we would have proceeded with the vacation approval last night after the public hearing in City Council, we would have referred it to the county. And the county would have then had some narrow strips of land which they would have had to go through public hearing process and notifications ourselves, since those little strips weren't included in the original description of the land that we published and went through with the sale. So what the plan is to, he's saying, hold some money in escrow, and we'll do the closing of the property with 5 talents next week. And immediately following that, the city will approve the vacation. So when the vacation is approved, it will revert to the title holder, which is the new buyer, not the county. So that's a decision we made administratively yesterday, and if there is some element that needs to be approved by you guys as the board, that'll have to be next week. I'll be in touch with Jeremy in the meantime to see if there's anything that needs formal approval by the board. I think it's the best plan.
Mm-hmm.
It allows us to complete the sale prior to the end of the fiscal year, and it doesn't add any extra new steps. I don't see any drawbacks.
It's not like it's gonna be a wanted property by anybody else other than the city, and they're already vacating it, so.
Right. As far as I know, everybody's 100% on board. There wasn't any comments at the public hearing last night at City Council. So at this point, I don't think there's anything we need to do. I mean, I put an item on the agenda for next Tuesday as a placeholder in case something needs to be acted upon. I think the main thing is understanding that when the deed is recorded, the vacated portions aren't going to be in there. So we kind of had to reverse the order in order to save some steps. And I told them that the timing of the payment to the county, from the holding accounts to the county is flexible. We don't have any immediate needs to have that money in our accounts, such as if we were buying another house, like a property owner type thing.
So the lawyers that have looked at it is Backy and Gray. Have we shared it with our county attorney as well?
Jeremy's representing the county in this transaction.
So,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
just a question. Didn't know.
Steve had been in contact with her earlier on when he thought she was handling the closing.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's at least broadly aware of what we're working on.
I've sent her some of the stuff earlier.
Okay, so she's informed. Okay.
I don't think we'll get in any trouble with this at all, and I think it'll work.
Okay. Nothing else on that. A little bit of update from the weekend. Some estimates say we got 11 inches of snow. We had our hard hard surface guys had a long day on Saturday. As the snow came down off and on through the day, and the wind was just strong enough to kind of keep sifting it across the road, so they were just back and forth all day, about a 12-hour day. But they did a nice job, and I was out a little bit because I had some holiday travels, and things were looking good even in comparison with the state highways. Then on Sunday, full crew was out, full day. And yesterday, Monday, they did some cleanup work and 2 more rounds. So for the first big snow, I'm happy to say that nothing was broken and our fleet's in good shape.
How many units did you have on the road?
Yeah, full fleet for us is 17 routes plus superintendent. That's, 18 guys. And then the mechanics come in when we have the full crew and also just to be on standby for repairs or little things, extra hands. Ethan's got, our superintendent, has kind of his own route, but also most of the, decision-making duties. He handles Rice Lake and Green Acres and Eagle Lane. Does this and that to help out the route operators. So, I think we're fortunate we didn't have too stiff of a wind for the weekend. And everything.
I didn't really hear of any major accidents either. Did anybody? So that's good.
Just on the interstate.
Yeah.
One thing I'll add is, it seems like every year, the first few snows, we have to reach out to a few landowners and appeal to them to try and work together on snow removal.
Don't push it to the other side of the road.
Right, we have a few major rules: don't push it into the ditch, don't push it to the other side of the road. If you do push it somewhere where it trickles snow on the road, make sure you clean it up after you're done. And we all need to work together and work until it's done. So leaving big piles in the wrong spot can really cause problems that fester all year long. And having a good idea about where the drifts are going to be is going to help us through the whole year, especially if we got this 8 inches of snow that's going to stick around and not melt, and we're going to add to it over the winter. Our guys are very strategic about where they put snow and how well they taper banks and how they kind of top the piles and allow the wind to be a helper instead of a hindrance. And so we can work with property owners to try and fit in that strategy as well. And one more thing I wanted to bounce off you, a bit of a personal thing, but I have a family vacation to France in the works for the spring. And we're looking at being gone for 4 weeks. It's a long time to be gone. It's more time than I've been gone, other than when I'd had my daughter. But I think our department can handle it just fine. Before I booked any flights or anything, I just wanted to see if there were any concerns going forward about that time being gone.
So you're thinking the end of May and the first part of June? Or you're not sure yet?
We are looking at a wide range of dates somewhere around the end of school. We are willing to take our kids out of some school, but not a lot, and they really like school.
Especially the end of the year where you're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm. All the fun stuff is going on.
Yeah. The major project that I would have to set our guys up for is the Rice Lake paving project that we have under contract with Hewlin Brothers. That'll likely come in 2 major chunks. One was the recycling portion, which will be a subcontractor, and one will be the paving portion. And the paving portion, you know, Eric's got a lot of experience with what needs to be done, documentation and testing wise for that kind of stuff. The full depth reclamation portion, we haven't done before. It'd be nice if I could be here for that. And it may be that happens in May. But we probably won't be able to guess the timing. So we would just have to.
You don't wanna be like the railroad where, well, we'll let you know when we want it done.
Yeah. So,
It's kind of a risk being gone that long. You might find out that all of a sudden they don't need me.
I think I,
Always the risk, right?
day to day, I think we will find out. I think I already know that day to day, they can certainly handle themselves. I think what it does on a bigger picture is just halt some of the forward planning and some of the little projects that take ongoing oversight, such as trying to get a railroad crossing replaced and things like that, where maybe I exchange correspondence with somebody twice a month in order to try to keep things moving. You know, those things won't happen.
I don't
It's
see a
not-
problem,
I'm not
I
gonna
don't see a
take
problem
another
with it as long as you are as prepared as possible,
Yeah.
you know?
There weren't any, pretty much the reclamation lays back down in the same path.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Like
no
a big
changes
garden
there
pillar.
for radiuses or anything.
Yeah, they'll run this reclaimer through there and then take a maintainer and shape it just like if it were 12 inches of new rock. Compact it and shape it with a maintainer.
So where will,
It's 2 days of work.
will that be, will there be one way?
Right.
Yeah.
One lane. at a
So I mean, it's
time,
not like,
and then they'll have to help traffic work through their job site when it's under construction. So that'll be a couple days of inconvenience, but it won't close the road.
okay,
At the worst, it might be flaggers holding cars for a while things move around.
Not a long distance there, so
yeah.
just blind corners kind of.
If no major objections, I'll work with my wife to get that locked in, and then I'll let you know the date.
Viva la France.
You got some
You'll have fun.
French blood in you, do you? Or?
My wife has not French blood, but she did a year abroad in France.
Oh.
We are going to visit her host family.
Ooh,
She's kept in touch with, and we visited 6 years ago. Just not we were there for 2.5 weeks is all. But even then, it's about long enough to make you forget all about whatever's going on here.
Mom and Dad had several Norwegian foreign exchange students, and therefore they ended up going over there and
Mhm.
visiting them. They had places to stay. So.
Yeah, we got quite the tour last night. Not like you would get from a tour guide that you hired.
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. Yeah, you get more of a full immersion.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, my wife speaks fluent French still, so. it's
Wow.
pretty cool.
It is cool.
Parlez-vous français? That's the only thing I know.
So that's, I guess I don't see an issue with it.
I don't have anything.
As long as you get things done ahead of time and are willing to catch up when you get back, it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
job
Yeah,
gets
you
done.
need a vacation from your vacation.
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
deal.
Mhm.
Well, and kind of going back to that Rice Lake project, what would happen if we did get a signature from the final person?
Yeah,
What timelines would there be involved in that? You're thinking that January is the deadline for getting that last signature and still moving forward, or?
have
some cushion.
those plans in almost, complete final version. We would revise the current plans to the old version that had a few more pages. Wouldn't take much time to get that drawn up, and then you do a change order with you and Brothers if they gave favorable prices. Depends on when they plan to do the work. The deadline's July 3rd, so
Deadline for,
for the whole project completion.
otherwise it's a separate project. What's the deadline for spending the money for urban renewal stuff?
Yeah. It's not a huge percentage of it all, so if it gets drawn out a little ways, really through the rest of the construction season, it would be fine.
Once upon a time, you said January was kind of the cutoff for knowing yay or nay.
Yeah, set the cutoff so that we can kind of efficiently accomplish these things.
Yeah.
Not have to
So it may
throw
cost us
together
more to
a
do it.
change order while they're on site with equipment or something. Could be done, but it's a good way to make mistakes. But I wouldn't see if everything got taken care of by March, you couldn't get it worked back in. March, April, get it worked back in. Well, I think I'll know more if we, in this calendar year, hear whether or not a trial's been rescheduled, or if we're sticking with the trial date that was originally set. It sounds like there has been some back and forth between the attorneys, but not enough information has been provided by their attorneys to make us feel comfortable with that original date. Get all the depositions done and everything else.
So back to the urban project. Do you have an accounting of budget-wise how we're doing and what's left for any available funds, if any, or are we over, or how are we doing?
We are not over. We are under.
Okay, good.
So,
You said that last week, didn't you?
we'll be looking at the projects in this year's construction season and
Right.
deciding
Do you have a,
road funds or TIP funds.
do you have a number of about what you'd estimate? I suppose it depends on what happens with the Rice Lake one, if we can do it all at
Right,
once, or if
because
it has
that's
to
a
be.
$250,000 variable. And then, I had the railroad tracks by rake as a complete rebuild, and that's a variable that probably won't work. $100,000 I had planned for it. So we might have $500,000 to work with.
Yeah, if Rice Lake doesn't happen. Or is that without the Rice Lake?
Yeah, I have it handy, not with me, so I can share that with you.
I'm just trying to ballpark it a little.
Yeah. And we don't have any paving projects other than Rice Lake that we discussed at all, and I don't think we would have any candidates paving wise, which can, that can eat up money fast. If we're adding $100,000 projects to each other, then we gotta find quite a few, and at that point, then we're looking at what does our own workload look like when our work order list is quite backed up. A few things to juggle there. I'd like to say we wait with all of our projects for our own guys so they can do 125 work orders next summer. But I think I feel that way every summer. It'd be nice if we could just do the little things that everybody has requested. But that means there are 3 posted bridges that don't get a big deal for a small few who use whatever bridge they are.
Look forward to finding out more on those things, and
Yeah,
budget time's coming up.
yeah, do we have a budget submittal date?
Yeah, it's January. I need to get the sheets out.
Yeah, I'm halfway working through mine, so some of these things I'll be ready to discuss maybe sooner than she has the whole budget put together.
So Jeremy Gray was asking in his email if there needed to be board approval on some of this, but no, we don't think so. I mean, I'm just going back over his.
Yeah, I don't think so, and if he does think so, after he's got his whole mind wrapped around what the process kind of ended up being, we'll have it on the agenda for Tuesday.
Oh, that's what you've.
Before the closing,
Okay.
so that by the time we get to closing, all bodies will have signed off as complete as necessary.
Okay.
So if we had to do any action, would that be a resolution, or would that be just a motion?
I don't know what it would be at this point.
It's kind of a quagmire the way it happened, and
The formal approvals, I think, are already in progress or
Right.
have already happened. And I call it a minor strategic.
I mean,
decision that is-
we approved everything to be sold in what we thought was our property, but then we found out there was, the right of way and the alley and things like that we didn't own, but it's been vacated, or going to be vacated,
right after we sell it.
so.
Really no longer our interest. Final vacation approval. He's basically agreeing to buy it as is
Mhm.
and then correct the title defect after the closing.
There's a certain amount you've determined will go into escrow until it's done, then.
That's what he was suggesting.
50,000.
That being said, I don't expect to receive any of the payments sooner than it's all taken care of, so. it'll
It's
make
more of
no
a
difference.
formality for the legal aspect to
Sure.
not own it when it transfers the
The
right
buyer
of
to
way.
know that if the money were released, that some would be withheld in order to
Yeah,
ensure the vacation went through.
I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah.
And, I pretended to be a lawyer.
Okay. Anything else, Scott?
That's all I have.
All right. Then we'll move to discussion and possible action regarding a tile crossing permit to Ben Peterson between Norway Township, section 33, and Center Township, section 4.
Then Peterson applied for a tile crossing permit. He is the upstream landowner, and the downstream side dumps into a drainage ditch. So we have no downstream landowner, really. There is a county lateral that serves this property that's too shallow, too small. And what I would normally do is suggest that we do an improvement on the tile. In this case, his property is the only one that pays into this tile. And we would have to do engineering work and public hearings, et cetera, et cetera. Didn't seem practical to go through that whole process when we can do a cost share and get it done with, this permit. The cost is over over 5,000, so that's why it's being brought to the board. The estimate is 7,250, 12-inch tile. So I'll say that probably is the key piece that affects the price and makes this expensive. And so I'm bringing it to you guys for approval of that amount.
So knowing that this lateral, and I think it's been reclassified at one point, I'm not sure, but this lateral, I know this tile, I used to farm it. My wife used to own it. And that is such a short piece. I would almost recommend before we pay for half of it, that go through the process to abandon that one, so we have no responsibility under the road anymore on that part of it. But I suppose if we're putting in a new one, we still have responsibility there.
Right. I had that same thought and deleted it from the email before I sent it to you. Or did I?
No, but it was conversations in our head.
Yeah.
Did you discuss?
My hope would be that we could install this tile to replace it, to serve whatever area that is. And at that point, you could go through the abandonment process, which I think you gotta, notify all the.
And there's only the two sides, right? I think. Because all it does is go from the ditch barely up to the road and then across the road, and that's it.
That's it, yeah.
That's all there is.
Whole tile.
And watershed wise, I don't know that anything comes from the west there.
Right, we'd have to maybe verify that he doesn't have any other tile that goes in there. I'm sure Helgeson's could check that. Whatever they're doing now would most likely replace any of that.
Yeah, I know there's tile out there, private tile out there.
Yeah.
I know there was an intake out there that probably went to that existing one.
Yeah, because after this would be installed, we would have the same obligations as we would have for the other one.
But
it makes sense to have two.
I just worry that the old one's gonna have to be repaired sometime at our cost.
Right. And it probably has an assessment schedule, which is mostly us. And then all of it is in road and drainage district right away, so how much of it would actually get billed? Landowner, probably not much.
Well, he's got
Maybe.
an area there, there's some acres that.
We would have the right of way portion, and then the part that's in the drainage district right away, maybe that part would be billed to all the parties, but be mostly our cost as the road department.
So you don't think pushing to abandonment would be feasible, or?
I think it is feasible, as long as we do a few checks when we're out there and say, okay, no tiles hooked into here, and the ditch can still drain, or, whatever it is. I feel like that is something I can work with Helgeson's on to try and accomplish. I don't know if it's something we can really outline in the permit at this point. If we do it right, we can address it after the fact, I think.
So then the end game would be that it would just all be privately owned by Ben, and he can maintain it and he can take care of it. I mean, everything.
That's true on the private property, but again, the portion in the road right of way always is gonna be our responsibility.
But I wanna make sure, I'd rather be maintaining a new one rather than that old one.
Yeah.
If there's a problem in the old one, I'd rather not have to deal with it. I mean, you've got a new one, you use that.
Right, I agree.
That makes sense. See what you can come up with after you talk to.
Yeah. I'll visit with Chris about that too, just to make
Yeah, we probably should have just had her in here, then she'd be,
I don't know if there's, others on that. And if it's classified out. I know we did, that whole district got, it seems like it was reclassified. Yeah,
Feel
cause
like
that
it-
was the same one that you challenged, before you got on the board, whether you were in or out of the district, so.
there,
Let's see.
that's why I'm sitting at this end of the table.
BD 92.
Not for
No.
long.
No, it wasn't.
103.
Incrementally, we should just keep moving it.
Moving it along.
DD 103 left hand is the tile that crosses the road there. Can't be more than 150, 200 feet.
You said it was a 12-inch?
It's 8 inch now.
Proposed to be 12
Oh,
inch.
okay.
And they own the whole quarter there. Be surprised if there's much screening there that weren't done. I'll look if she's been reclassified, all that should be laid out.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it does is go, yeah, it's pretty much, the ditch is right next to the right of way, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And,
There's not even,
it basically just goes through, but the benefit is gonna be this area here. Just not, and this is over by the ditch, so I can't see that going this way.
So that's
And he
two
owns it
ditches
here.
connected by a tile?
What's that?
the
Right here?
culvert's some 200 feet long. or
There is a, yeah, culvert that goes under the road in the
Goes
corner of
under
the property.
Intersection, skinny.
mm-hmm.
So that's another thing, why wouldn't he just, I suppose, yeah, it's higher over in that corner, so he's not gonna, I don't know, why wouldn't he just tap into the main over there, in the corner?
Let me check, I'll check that out.
I suppose it's more expensive to tap into a big
Go through a hill.
culvert.
And then, well, got the hole inside of a concrete pipe's not too big a deal. I could check.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no action today, where you're gonna do a little more checking and, or,
I mean,
Yeah, either way, it's fine, you can prove it today and have me, I guess, verify that there's not a better way to go going east.
okay,
we're gonna have to,
I mean,
we're either gonna have to readjust our 5,000 or just start, I mean, once we start a precedence of, well, all right, we'll cover, I mean, so we've either gotta raise the threshold of our half, what we're willing to pay half of, or it's,
it seems like these always have a little bit of nuance to them, and I don't mind discussing.
I
them.
think the discussion is productive.
Especially like here where if we can eliminate a liability down the road with a new one, I'd like to see that contingency in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
but once you do it for one person, you gotta do it for everybody, so.
so when was the last time how long has it been since we have changed those dollar amounts?
This policy really is.
It's not that old.
2 years old.
Let's say maybe
Is it that
4
old?
years old.
I didn't think it was that
Years
old.
old. We drew it up from scratch,
Okay,
similar to some other counties, to help us chug through these tile crossings a little quicker.
mhm,
And Helgesons now have gone through it several times. They seem to be kind of comfortable with it.
Well, let's see if Ben and Helgeson's like the ideas or that other angled way, or if this is still the best move, and we'll go from there.
Well, if they're doing it the way they're gonna do it, they must have thought it out somehow.
I would think, but
Yeah.
I didn't ask that question, so I can't.
Mhm.
I can look at how the land lays.
All right, well, if there's nothing else on that, I don't think we're gonna do any action on that particular one until I mean, it's not like they're gonna fix it next week.
No, let's keep that on the agenda for next week, Carla.
All right. Open forum. Anything for open forum? Thank you, Scott.
Under open forum, I've got a question. Do you remember any conversations about Linden Cemetery, who's responsible for that?
Yes. I've had many conversations about that.
Who is,
So there's two cemeteries out there. One of them is a township cemetery. The other one is a church cemetery. And the church cemetery,
is this in the same spot, or is it
no, there's
across the section?
two separate cemeteries.
Yeah,
So,
I think I'm talking about the one on the blacktop there.
the one that's taken care of or the one that's not taken care of?
Well,
Where's this
the
at?
one that's not the church cemetery. I think that's the one I'm talking about along the blacktop, south of Thompson by Mary Walk.
Oh,
The one that looks like it's a prairie cemetery?
Yeah,
That's the township's responsibility.
it is.
Yes.
Well, the reason I ask is somebody wanted to donate money towards it. How do they do that?
Okay.
If it's that one.
Well, they can, oh boy, I would say that they would talk to the township people because it's their decision not to do anything with it.
Mhm.
So it'd be Gary Graber and, let me just look that up real quick.
Robinsons,
Merle?
yeah, wouldn't it be? Would be Merle and Graber and Thorland, maybe?
Yeah, they would be there. And then they would just hire somebody to take care of it with that money, I guess.
Depends on how much they're giving. It might be $20, who knows?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, if it's only $20, then it ain't gonna do much.
I
So
don't
we
know
have
how
a
much it is.
new guy in Lake Mills
There's $200, it
That-
won't do much.
cares for
That
old
Dean?
stones and fixes them and repairs them, and it's actually pretty
So
cool.
that'd be more of a private
So-
thing then.
Linden
Mhm.
Township is Gary Graber, Tim Rutland, Lynn Woogie, and David Thorland.
Hmm.
4. 1 clerk, 3 trustees.
So here's the one. Mary lives there, right across the road is the
Are they
cemetery.
required to meet any sort of frequency?
Yes, they are.
And then the other one,
Where is the other one?
it's over here by there used to be a church over here.
Oh, yeah,
Linden NEL congregation,
Norwegian Evangelical,
yeah.
yeah.
But the church is gone. I remember the church.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, 'cause
So
So that would be the church one, the other
this
one
is
is
the
the township.
NEL one. I call that the church one. The other one's over here, along the blacktop.
yeah, that's the one that's the township's in charge of.
Right. So I guess I could find out more information and
Who's
Right.
the person who does the graded upkeep?
his last name's Dean. He's right there, by the fire station in Lake Mills.
West of the fire station. Took over what used to be the elevator's chemical plant. There's an A-frame there. And
Okay.
but he really does.
Nice to have a business like that, because there's people that would used to straighten them out, but you never get them to show up.
Mm-hmm. But he'll put new foundations under
What
it.
Gary told me is that when he took over as township clerk, that they basically said, we don't do anything with this cemetery.
So they're considering it a pioneer one, or,
Mhm.
but is anybody still getting buried there? Okay.
Mhm.
And
It
that-
would be nice to have it cleaned up, and the township can levy for that, but they have chosen not to.
How big is it? Is it an acre or 2 acres or
Let me see.
do we tax
So
cemeteries?
No. So the other issue is,
1.3 acres.
1.3?
the other issue is that the church cemetery has asked the township to help take care of that one, which there was, when that church was dissolved, there was a trust fund that was supposed to be set up for the care of that cemetery. And whoever was taking care of it went through all the money, so there's no money left.
So now if the church is no longer there, is it just township?
Well, it's technically under that church trust. So if
But
the
Are they
church,
selling
But the church, once the trust
I think
is,
so.
See, that's the difference. They're selling lots, so that's where the money should go is.
Yeah.
Where,
Cause
well,
I,
I suppose they're not upkeeping it or anything?
They are,
Oh.
but somebody's doing it for free because they
Oh,
wasted all the money.
yeah.
And they want the township to take care of it, but that's not the way it works. If they would have to, the township would have to agree to take that, and they would have to deed it over to the township, and then
Yeah.
the township could levy for that as well. But
So have
that's-
we set any other precedent in the county, like with the one that's across from your dad's place? That little one, is that just privately?
the neighbor mows it.
Okay.
That little one up by Rake, somebody goes out and mows
There's,
that.
there are certain townships who do pay or levy for maintenance of the cemeteries, and then they pay someone.
Then they pay someone to mow or
Yeah.
maintain.
And that is part of they have the authority to levy for that. So it's just their choice though, if they decide to do that or not.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be that much.
The problem with the one prairie cemetery is that there's trees and there's lots of stuff that's grown up in it, and so in order to get it looking decent, somebody'd have to really go in and it'd
Really
probably
work.
take some money to clean it up the first time. After that, mowing's not a big deal, but it's so overgrown right now that.
Hmm.
But I do get calls quite often that people are upset that the cemetery looks like that.
Yeah,
So, but
So your pat answer is just that the township trustees have decided that,
Darn it.
and
yes,
it's, and
yeah.
do you give them
I mean,
their names?
cemetery.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How does he fit in with Kurt,
That would have been his grandpa.
his grandpa? Okay. Yeah.
He's dead.
Yep.
But I was just looking on Find a Grave in Winnebago County, they show, townships cemeteries, they show the Kingland Cemetery. Trying to think where that is.
Benji.
Like they don't list the Hannah Cemetery here, which is one of the oldest ones.
Mhm.
Steeny Family Cemetery. Some odd ones here, but the home cemetery's not there, or
And the county does pay,
here,
for veterans graves.
there are two in
So
Lynn.
if there's a grave that a veteran's buried on, the county pays $4 per grave to those cemeteries that.
Okay,
for the-
so it would be worth figuring out how many veterans were on these two sites. And they,
Well, and we do We already pay the one church, the
Oh, you
church
do?
cemetery. We don't pay anything for the township cemetery, because, like I said, nobody,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to upkeep in order for us to pay for it.
Right.
I don't know, it doesn't seem like there's more than 6 or 8 stones on this one along the blacktop at all.
The one up by Rake, I think there's 4 in there.
Oh, here it says.
It's
1, 2,
directly
3,
across from Mary
4,
Walk,
5,
isn't it? I mean, is it like
6,
right across the road?
7, 8, 9, 9 people buried there. Oh, wait a minute, there's more. There was an ad there. 10, 11, 12, 13,
Do they,
19. There are quite a few, actually. It must be really short stones. You can't see them with the grass.
do they have the
I think it
one
would
by
be
Rake
nice
listed,
if-
that little one?
But like I said, I can't force them to do it.
Right. But if there's someone who's wanting to donate funds to it, it's just to figure out who to donate them to. My initial reaction is it's right across the road from Mary, you know, would for
East.
something. I mean, she's a
Lincoln
fabulous
Township
gardener
Cemetery.
and that kind of
West
stuff. Would she be
Cemetery.
willing, you know?
Mhm.
Maybe
Well,
not.
like I said,
Well, the
it's the trees that are growing up in there and all
Lincoln
that stuff.
Township.
Yeah,
Take
if
care
it
of
was,
at this point.
maybe that's what that
Lutheran.
initial monies could be for.
West
Is
Cemetery, I don't know, that Lincoln Township one, maybe
So
that's
pending
it.
loan.
Yeah, that's it. How many graves are on that one? Can you? I think there's only 4.
Let's see.
What's that site you're using, guys?
Find a grave.
I mean, I've gone up in there and looked, I've been sitting there hauling fertilizer to a field around there, and I walk over to that little cemetery and look at it, and I believe it, it's like World War One was the last.
What was the last one, the most recent one?
07, 1938,
It's 2, maybe.
1976 on that one. This would be the Lincoln one.
Yeah,
That's quite a
Does
few.
the Historical Society
aren't
have
that many
much to
graves
do
out
with
there.
this?
When we,
They have, I think they try to keep track of where people are buried just because it's part of history, but I don't know that they.
see, like when we documented our cemetery out to our church, I made a file and gave it to you guys, and I gave it to them.
Gave one to Riley
So
or
they can
those guys?
search. It was on a flash drive.
A Boy Scout one time who went around the county and took pictures of graves, and so we have a book.
Hmm.
I might have given that to the Historical Society though, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Well, at least we know where it is. And
Yeah, it's either in the vault or the Historical Society.
if somebody really needed it, we could find
We could
it.
Find it, yeah,
That's the whole point.
the point, yeah.
Okay, well, that's kind of interesting.
or I'll get more information on that person then.
Particularly like cemeteries, so maybe we could figure out somebody to go in there and do that initial cleaning so that it could just be mowed. We'll ask around.
Then it's kind of a liability financially from there on. And like our church, we've got that trust put into it to where the interest is paying for the mowing every year. And if the church closes, hopefully it keeps up.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on interest rates, and it depends on the cost of mowing.
Well, that's what everybody always thinks, you know, they buy a plot's $300 or something. That's not gonna go very far if you don't keep having people there, you know?
the city of Buffalo Center, I know that they pay for doing half of the cemetery out there. I don't know if someone else mows the other half or not.
Cause is that in city limits out there then?
It is.
Okay, well, that was interesting discussion. Thanks, Terry.
Kind of a morbid discussion.
All right, what else do we have for open forum on that pile over there?
The messy stuff.
But the cemeteries in France are pretty cool.
Everything over there has another 2,000-3,000 more years of history.
Yeah,
But
it's,
some of it that's only 75 years old is pretty important too.
yeah, Normandy,
They wouldn't be here if we didn't help.
My husband has a uncle buried there that he went and visited. It's amazing the care that they give to those cemeteries of American soldiers.
something about
I
the
mean,
French.
they've washed the stones and I mean, it's amazing.
Something about the French. They'll always be there for us when they need us.
Mhm.
It's
Then
been
they
a,
take sand from the beach and they rub into the lettering of the stones so that they show up for the different Veterans Day and the anniversaries of they're just cooler people than we are.
So assessors request some paychecks that's just received.
Received, yep.
And the payroll is approved for
Yes.
them. That's the part. So we got two identical copies of payroll.
Thanks, Scott.
Or did something change?
I don't know that answer, I can.
One was yesterday at 4:04. The other one's 8:21 this morning. Maybe
Well,
there's
the
an adjustment.
8/21 this morning would be the correct one.
So I'll just hold this off to the side then.
Yep.
I wasted a stamp.
yeah.
I'm gonna wear out my auto pen.
Yeah, it's just,
Put lotion on this.
Saw they were putting lights out here this morning. Out on the
Yep.
gazebo.
city boys were out there.
One guy up in a tree and the other's watching. Gotta have groundmen.
Somebody's got to hold the camera for when he falls.
So do these not always need a supervisor's signature on them?
What's that?
Do these not always need supervisor signatures and employee signatures?
Some of them come by email,
So then they aren't signed?
yeah.
Get them to fan this way. They're easier to grab.
What day is Santa gonna be here? Is that next weekend? Is it Saturday or
What are you talking about?
when they're doing the lighting again? Is it the 6th or,
10th, isn't it?
can't remember now.
I was thinking the 14th, but maybe that's wrong.
I thought it was closer to the 10th, maybe.
Well,
I can look at it.
yeah.
Just wanna be sure I get my list ready so I can give it to Santa.
So this here is just for your information.
Well, I might bring these. Oh, yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the county claims.
I'll second it.
Motion by Jensvold and seconded by Derby to approve the county claims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll claims.
I'll second it.
Motion to approve the payroll claims by Derby and seconded by Jensvold. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. If there's nothing else, we're gonna